Father, thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for the gift of salvation. Father, as we gather tonight and look outside, we thank you for the rain. Father, we need it, and you know that we need it. Father, we thank you for what you've given, and we ask that you would continue to give us rain. Father, I pray for the farmers and the ranchers that are out in it. Father, I pray that it would be a benefit to them. Father, as spring comes and all that comes with spring, Father, I pray that you would keep people safe as they are out in the fields. And Father, your will be done in all their lives. Keep them safe. Father, I pray for the city workers and the contractors as construction season starts. Father, that you would keep them safe and keep us vigilant as we drive past. Father, I thank you for the blessing of living in Miller. Father, I thank you for this community. I thank you for our neighbors. I thank you for city employees and the city council. Father, I pray that you would give them all wisdom as they gather tonight and discharge their duties. Father, we thank you for all the blessings that you give us. And in your Son's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Close.
Call the meeting to order and begin with the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
So move. Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, motion is made and second to approve the agenda for this evening. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Approve the minutes from our previous meeting on May 4th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes. Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, motion is made and second to approve the minutes from the May 4th meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Public input. State your name and then,
My name is Stephen Davis, and I work for the state, and I travel East 3rd Avenue, Rebel Site Road. And at the intersection of that and East 7th Street, it is a yield sign, east and west. And the way I understand it, that 3rd Avenue is the right-of-way. And in the past 5.5, 6 months of being employed there, I've had 3 near misses. And I would like to ask you guys to look into changing those yield signs back to a stop sign. I understand that there's logistics involved in that, I understand that, but there will be an accident there sometime. I guess it's not a guarantee, but 3 near misses in 6 months is ridiculous. People do not yield there. And I think it'd be wise to look and changing it back to a stop sign. That's all I'm asking.
okay?
Is there any specific time of day that you're seeing or having those? Or obviously, it can happen at any time in the day, but.
7 o'clock, noon, and 5:30.
Okay.
Okay,
Noon's probably the most prominent one, but
Sure.
very good. Well, we appreciate your input, with that one, we'll definitely
that's all I'm
look
asking,
into
just to
that.
look into it.
Yeah.
If we can,
Yeah.
it would be great.
Is
Okay.
it worse during the school year?
I've only been driving that for the school year, so I would say yes. I don't know what's coming up, so.
We'll maybe confer with Ron of the street and then Ted with the police department and see what can be done
Okay.
about it. And
Yep.
Okay,
And we'll
appreciate
let,
it.
yeah, and we'll let you know too.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thanks for
betcha.
bringing it
Thank
up
you.
to us.
Thank you.
Betcha. New business. Faye was with Venture. Jandrew, is that how you pronounce it?
You got it.
Oh, there you go. So,
You got it.
All right, well, thanks everybody for allowing us an opportunity to come. Paige Andrew, CEO and GM of Venture Communications over in Highmore. I got Mary Knox with me. She's our marketing manager, and she's really the brains behind all of those, what do I want to say? Facebook videos and things that we do. If you've seen that, that's her, that's her work. So, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. What we wanted to talk about today was serving the western side, completing construction on the western side of town, and then serving residential services inside the community of Miller. So that's really what we're here to talk about today. And I got a little paper handout. I emailed it over, but I don't know. If you're like me, you probably like paper. It's easier to take a look at it.
Thank you.
Thought it would help tell our story just a little bit.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. So I thought a great place to start was just talking a little bit about who we are. You know, we are have been so active in this community and brought service to businesses a few years back, and then built the rural areas around Miller quite some time ago, and with the help of Mike, actually, in the Connect SD grant. And so we've been around, but I thought starting at the beginning was probably the right place, and just tell you a little bit about who we are and what's going on. So Venture Communications is a cooperative, and which means that we're owned by our customers. We're customer owned. We have a subsidiary that we call Venture Vision, and that's the entity that we use to build into areas that aren't inside of our PUC assigned cooperative areas. And that's exactly who would be finishing these services up. That's who built the rural portions of the Miller Exchange. And that's who would be bringing the services here. If you could, can you just advance the slide or go to the next page? The way we view Venture Vision and Venture Communications is that we're really two organizations with a shared mission. We think that our mission statement really has 4 pillars in it. We try to operate an organization that's fiscally sound. We try to deliver quality communication services. We try to help our people to leverage those communication services to the best of their ability, and we try to control the cost of those services for our customers and consumers. And so that's really what we work to do, and it's a shared mission. We have about 45 employees. We have 11-member board of directors that really directs what we do, not unlike the city council. We have about 12 to 13,000 customers, over 10,000 square miles across the state. And we have a little more than 8,000 miles of fiber cable in the ground. So that's kind of who we are. That's what makes us. If you advance to the next page, we have just a little map that indicates the service area that we have. So when you think of, if you've been around Highmore and you think of Venture, oftentimes you think of Highmore or Hyde County or something of that nature, but we actually extend quite a bit beyond that. And we have 2 geographical areas. We have that central region there in the dark gray, and then there's, if you look to the northeast corner of the state, we have that area that we serve up there as well. If you look real closely at Miller, you'll see there's a little area that's not shaded in around Miller itself, and that's the community itself, okay? And that's what we're here today, to try to fill that little bit in and get that taken care of. So a few years back, when we were building through the town, there was an opportunity for us to put some ductwork in. You were doing an electric project, and the city was kind enough to allow us to put some ductwork in, and we were able to build the eastern side of town. So we've done that. We used a lot of those facilities to deliver service to businesses around. A few other spots as we've gone through town, and now we just want to finish it up, clean it up, get it taken care of, and be here and deliver service throughout the community. Be here for you. So if you advance to the next slide, That just shows you the services that we provide. This is straight off our webpage, which is www.venture.coop. And anybody who's interested in those services, that's what it is. And just want you to know what services we intend to bring to town once we get it built. And then if you give me the next slide, please. We believe that we have a local presence in town. Kurt lives right here in town, of course. We pass through Miller all the time, serving all the way around it. And we believe that we have community connection here. Try to stay connected with Miller. And we just feel like it's time to advance our relationship to the next level. So, and what part are we talking about trying to build? I've circled it in red. This is a map of Miller, which I'm sure you all recognize. And the western part of town is really what we're going to be looking at. We'll be building that, and our hope to build that. The intention is to start in August timeframe, hoping that we can get it wrapped up before the end of the year. Yeah, then start turning up services and providing services to customers. I think we got one more slide in there, just to kind of give you a little bit of scope. Yep, this is the just a calendar, kind of shows you where we want to start. And I always like to put it in context of the calendar because you can kind of visualize, hey, holy cow, what are we trying to do here and get done? But it's less than 30 miles of cable placement as we see it, and fewer than 100 handholds, which is where a backhoe's digging up and placing a vault in the ground. So that's realistically, that's the size of the project. That's what we're here asking for, and mostly just trying to announce our intention. If there's something in particular that the city wants from us or those types of projects or processes, just let us know what they are and we'll get the ball rolling.
When you talk about the digging, where the digging take place as far as placing of the fiber, the cable?
Yeah, everything would be in the city right away.
Okay,
If that, I'm not sure the specific question, but everything's in the city right away, and we try to set a single handhole in each one of the blocks, city blocks, and then we bore duct to each one of the home locations where we'd serve.
okay. Well, that's, kind of what I was looking to, if there's going to be any digging up or whatever, with regard to a lot of those streets were just recently done with regard to our, our project, so I just, okay? So what, go ahead.
I can maybe add to that if you'd like me to. So when we kick these projects off, the way that process works is we'll have a pre-construction meeting where we bring everybody in. It'll be open to the public. People can come and talk to us, tell us don't do this, do that, those types of things. And then we build our construction design, the final part of the design around what those concerns are and what those worries are. And that's when we really start nailing down exactly, how are we going to get down this alley? Is it going to be on the north side or is it going to be on the south side? That all kind of happens with that process.
Good.
Yeah.
What, from the city, are you looking for probably locates or there's something, what you're going to be asking as far as the city to do for you?
Yeah. So we'll call in locates with South Dakota One Call, or South Dakota 811. And so we'll move through that process. What we'll do as far as locates and construction plan is we'd communicate that all ahead of time. So the problem with locates oftentimes is when the locate comes in, somebody's busy on the other side of town trying to get something done, right? I got a water line that's broke over here, now you want me to locate this. So what we try to do is let you know, hey, we're at this block, from this block, we're gonna go to that block, from that block, we're gonna go to that block, from that block, we're gonna go to that block. And so the folks that are locating the facilities can be constantly in communication, saying,
Okay.
hey, you're clear in that one, but call me 3 days before you get to this one.
Okay.
So
very
that's
good.
usually how that works.
All right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
What, in a perfect world, what is your timeline of providing services to homes without a business inside their home?
Yeah, so the idea is that we'll have the construction completed before the end of the year.
Yep.
And then in the fall, what we do is it's kind of a couple of step process. As a
Are you just doing the
customer-
main line and then you're gonna be hooking up homes as services are requested?
Exactly right.
Okay.
So this project, as we see it, is just the main line. Now, that doesn't mean that if a customer wants service and they talk to us and order service from us, we're not gonna serve them. We're absolutely gonna do that. But that would require a couple of step process where we'd go into the home, we'd talk to them, figure out exactly where we wanna go, where do you place the clamshell on the outside of the house, then we plow the fiber to there, then we come back later, do a cut over and fire them up. So the construction will probably be done by the end of the year. I'm hoping some of the cutovers will be done by the end of the year as well. But we usually say, give us till the end of the first quarter of that following year to just to be safe and set
So pretty aggressively
expectations.
after the initial main line comes in of, as far as people request and services provided.
Absolutely, fire it up. There's no sense in letting it lay there dark. Let's get it rolling and get it fired up for somebody and get the services activated. Yep.
So do we just need to have a motion as far as we give our blessing, or just we recognize, because internet, we're not provided under contract with any, we don't have a city contract, correct?
Right, we
Okay.
just have cable.
So do we need a motion to approve, or it's really not a,
I think, I think we can probably do that, or we can, when,
Do you have a
when,
more comprehensive
Yeah.
map of where you're gonna
Yeah.
be putting all this and digging and things like that?
Yeah.
I feel like this is something that,
'Cause that would
I'm
be
not
the-
against it, but I
Yeah.
think it's something we have to
because
be
that's gonna
looking at a little
come,
harder before we just say, yep, go dig up
Yeah.
wherever you want, you
well,
know?
I think this could be just more or less a preliminary indication of what they intend to do, and then when those things are provided, then we can proceed with anything that we need to do with regard to
Do you
that.
have anything made up yet as far as,
It's fully staked.
okay,
So it's fully staked and designed and put together. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be the guy you'd want to talk to. I mean, the guy that you're going to want to talk to is kind of that pre-construction meeting. And we can absolutely set up a meeting and have you walk through each one of those steps. And, this is just us kind of letting you know that we have some intention. And this is what we're wanting to do. So.
I think the blessing is there, at least I'll speak
Yeah.
for myself. The blessing
Yep.
is there, just obviously be involved in the pre-construction process and the survey process and stuff like that of welcoming you guys to town and start services to the residents.
Yep, you bet. And we'll definitely do that. If there's a specific timeline that you want us to do that in, I mean, if you say, hey, I want to know in the next, 3 weeks, I want to go through those staking sheets and that sort of thing, we can make that happen. But otherwise, we can just schedule the pre-construction meeting, which would probably be July-ish, and then have those guys in here and like I said, really walk through where people can say, not here, but here, and, I buried a drum of oil in that spot, you might want to avoid it or something, I don't know.
Yeah. And building the maps, you'll be using our maps and where our stuff is going, so you guys don't know quite where you're putting it until you know where we put our stuff to begin with, and,
Yeah, so the staking sheets that we would give you is just gonna be a line down an alleyway.
yep.
And when we get out there, and I know there's some congested alleyways in Miller, my team's been talking about this. And so what we would do is we'll get out there with everybody who has a vested interest and say, okay, where are we best to place this facility? And then our contractors instructed to place it, where we mark it out, where we put it.
Well, we appreciate your consideration, that's, and look forward to, hearing additional information as we move forward, so.
Well, we'll keep the ball rolling, keep moving forward. You'll probably see more to come from us as we step through it. And when we get that pre-construction scheduled, we'll make sure everybody gets an invite and you guys
Sounds good.
can
Very good.
participate. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you for the information.
Levi Stoddard is up next. He's going to talk about the fence and a variance, so.
Yeah, so I'm Levi Stoddard. We moved to town about 2.5 years ago. We bought Ruby Wharton's old house. I know a couple of you guys have been out there. And so we are in the process of putting up a privacy fence, and we've got most of it done on the north side and the west side. But we stopped on what would be the north border of 3rd Street right there. And, the reason we stopped there, Dustin had come out and kind of measured off where the right-of-way is for that street. And those trees that you can see on the bottom of that red square, there's about 5 trees right there. And, yeah, those trees right there, yep. And those technically are in the city right-of-way. But we would like to run our fence just on the south side of those trees. And so I had Dustin come out the other day and we looked at it a little bit more. And where we would like to put the south part of our fence is about 9 feet past where the edge of the street technically is, I guess. And so we'd like to see if we could get a variance to put our fence in there. The fence, I didn't bring any pictures of it, but you're welcome to drive by and look at it, of course. But we're doing steel posts with decking run horizontal in between those posts. And so we're putting the steel posts about 2 feet in the ground, and then we're pouring concrete around them. So, yeah, that's kind of the scope of it. Dustin did point out, I think you said I had put on the building permit last year, we were gonna run into the west side of the house, is that correct?
Correct, yep. But
Yeah.
if you actually wanna come to the front, you can stand up.
Yeah, so we would actually, what we'd like to do is come to what would be
The front of the garage.
the front of our garage, yeah.
Mhm.
And so we wouldn't be, I don't think that we wouldn't be in trouble, I mean, we wouldn't be close to the border of Fifth Street or Fifth Avenue at all, but our building permit, we would maybe need to update that to where it shows coming to the east side of the house, the southeast corner of our garage there, so. But,
Dustin took a couple of us over there. I know personally I went over there and I was kind of surprised at how much of the right of way went as close as it did to the garage. I mean, it's dang near to the rock garden. So my feeling is from the city standpoint, it looked just fine. It's not impeding on visibility from the avenue side of it. And it's not a through street heading west. It kind of made sense for the way a fence placement would be. I personally have no issue with it.
And I'll concur with that, because I know Dustin and I, as soon as I seen you're on the agenda, we came over and visited with you and looked at it, and
Yep.
there's a lot more room there than you first,
You
when
talked
you
to
first-
Alan Joy at all about it, or?
yeah, actually, Alan's loaned me most of the tools I needed to do it. But, yeah, Alan probably puts more miles on that street right there than
Yeah, I know
anybody
he
in
does.
history ever will, but, yeah, I think, cause I did think about Alan, and we try not to park, where my pickup is at, we try not to really park a lot of stuff there, because it does kind of make for a blind corner there on Fifth Avenue when Alan is coming and going. And so, but I think stopping it there at the east edge of our garage would still give him a pretty good angle of view to the left.
Because if you zoom in again, Cindy, like you did, like on the trees, where he's proposing is basically putting it just a couple feet out, like 24 inches away
Probably
from the
about where the
trees.
shadows of those trees are. So
Yeah.
there's kind of a drainage, there's a ditch right there to the right of that pickup. And where we would like to put the fence is kind of at the top of that,
It'd be more right here. So
up at the top of that ditch.
you see the edge of the
Right there.
pavers here on that rock? It would just kind of go right along that.
Yeah,
Yep.
On the out,
And
yeah.
it shoots kind of at an angle towards this pole right here.
yeah.
His original lot line is like right in the middle of this tree right here. So, I mean, he's gonna be encroaching on the city probably over here, maybe 4 foot onto the city, maybe 5 at the most. But, and if you zoom back out, back to what Patrick was saying, here would be the curb right here. If there was ever curb put in, so you can kind of see how far that is, but, and then you see where the road is, how narrow it gets.
You look up the street, head the other way, you can see multiple decks and everything that are going to be out farther than this fence is
Yep.
gonna be.
Yeah, so that privacy fence right there, behind Tanner and Liz Rowden's house, that fence is maybe just I don't know, I would say maybe just a foot or two into the city.
I would say more than, cause it's more like.
You can't see the sidewalk, I guess.
These
and
trees
so-
here, I mean, they're closer to what would be your line as well.
It's easier to see in person when you're standing there and you're looking at it and not,
That fence there is already over the line.
That one has,
Yeah.
yes, yep.
That one's onto the city right away.
because the sidewalk's actually farther to the north than that fence is.
I think if I remember right, Dustin had, when he was out there and we measured it off, I think Third Street is 40 feet either side of the
It's an
center.
80-foot right away.
It's an 80-foot right of way. And the Fifth Avenue, the north-south, I think is only 60 feet. So anyways, yeah, it's kind of wide for the use that it gets right there anyways in that spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what we were,
Kind of like Patrick was saying. Putting a fence on city ground is kind of crazy, but at the same time, it goes to a dead end. It's not, it's different than anywhere else in town. And I can see with trees and everything, but it's gonna be up to you guys.
Yeah.
But personally, I still think you should, even though you've talked to Alan, there should be some sort of variance
Yeah.
to eliminate if anybody has an issue with it.
I agree on that. And the thing of it is too, with regard, you know, when I first saw it, that's one of the concerns they had with regard to if, let's say a curb and gutter would go in there. I mean, you still have plenty of room with regard to that. I mean, that wouldn't be an issue with that, so.
the only issue I could see, and I don't know, we'll just have to see what next winter brings, but the fence is just under 6 feet tall and it's solid. I don't know how it might make a little snow catch right there at that, where, just north of Kopecky's house. I'm not really sure, I don't really know, but other than that, I don't think it would, I don't think, I mean, I agree, I think it should be open to the public, but I don't think any of the neighbors would have anybody there in that area anyways would have a problem with it.
So I'd like to add too, that originally Levi was trying to do a kind of a temporary fence. We wanted to do stands. That way it wasn't permanent on, it'd be no different than a pickup sitting there, you know, something you can move. But we know how the wind is in South Dakota, and I don't know how you're gonna keep that fence he's got right now. I mean, it is true, nice. I don't know how you keep that looking like that
Yeah, and that,
without putting it in the ground like.
yeah, that was originally, when we started building the fence, we had thought that if we wanted to go out farther to the south, we would make some kind of like freestanding panels almost, that had legs on them to where nothing went below ground, but that might not.
You'd have to weed eat around it.
Yeah.
Well, my biggest concern is just keeping it standing up straight
Yeah.
with wind and everything, but
Well, that was my thought when we first went, you said temporary, and I said, okay, you might be a better engineer than I am, because I didn't know how that, with, like you said, how exposed that is.
well, and it would make, I mean, if we put a big enough base on it, it
Yeah.
would probably stand better, but then it's gonna be a little bit more of a pain to
Yeah.
maintain around the legs of the posts and everything to mow and
Okay.
whatnot,
I
so.
don't see that.
What I would add is, that is city ground, and it's all of you, decision, but know that if anything, I mean, we're talking 40, 30, who knows, years down the road, something changes and something needs to happen there. It is city ground, and so, you know, you never know what's gonna happen. There is that potential that just because you put it in, it's still not on your property, that it would maybe need to get ripped out if, for some reason,
Yeah,
whatever, I don't see anything why it would, but just want that to be clear as well.
My only fear is opening the can of worms or starting the precedence that we allow citizens to build on city-owned property. I mean, I understand why it works in this situation, but it's also a dangerous precedent to start, I think.
one thing
And
about
I
it is they
agree,
would
but-
they would have to go through the variance process every time
Yeah.
that they wanna do that, so it's still up to us every time it gets brought up.
And I think you said a key thing, it works right for this one, it may not work right for another one. I mean, there may be some concerns of granting that, you know, so. Any
You
other
wanna bring
input?
up that, GIS map, just to kind of show them actually the city property there, yeah, and then, yeah, click on that one. So I don't see a road going all the way through there, but
There's-
it's gonna go to nowhere, but.
Yeah, there's nothing that you can actually do down there.
But yeah, that's pretty much the,
Okay.
I guess, was there any other questions as far
Yeah.
as
Anything else?
what we were gonna do?
What's the, I guess what's the request? Just,
Well, I think we should have, we could entertain a motion subject to, or just more or less get a variance with regard to,
what's the variance process, the requirements?
is that
Need to
two
post the
readings?
public notice in the paper for, I think it's 2 weeks. Yep. And it'll go to a meeting.
So then your request is for a variance for this fence officially?
Yeah, that would be correct, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess,
I'd
yeah,
make the
specifically
motion,
the south side of the fence.
I'd make a motion to, start the variance process. for this.
Second.
Okay. Discussion.
I want to make note that the press is not going to be here the week of Memorial Day week. So their deadline for this Saturday's paper coming up and the next one is tomorrow at noon. So if you want to apply for the variance and get it rolling, we need that before noon tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay,
Otherwise, we have to wait.
well, and we're not in a big hurry,
Okay.
so, I mean, if we miss it, that's all right. I mean, my wife's in a hurry, but I'm not. So, she was hoping I'd get this done
Yeah.
last year, and so I got about a year lag time, so she's happy.
Yeah, 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 okay.
I guess I should be careful what I say.
Yeah, you don't blame me, go to the, yeah.
Yeah. But the only other thing I would add is if you do go out there and look at the fence, the west side and the north side actually isn't quite complete yet. We're building it out of treated lumber, and so it's kind of a greenish color now, but after it dries for a couple months, we'll probably put some stain on it, and then we'd like to do like a black steel tubing around the top, just to kind of give it a little bit of a finished look, so it's not quite complete if you go out there and look at it, but,
It looks nice. It still
Okay.
looks nice.
thanks. Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Motion has been made and seconded to start the variance process for Levi's fence. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Waldner's here with regard to the Director of Secure South Dakota DSU Cybersecurity. And you have some information from him on pages 4 through 6.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So, thank you. Mike Waldner with Secure South Dakota out of Dakota State University in Madison. And I couldn't make a fence straight to save my life, okay? So we're gonna talk about cybersecurity instead. Just a quick background on myself as to why I'm sitting here, or standing here, I guess, is that I've been involved in a lot of statewide projects, a lot of technology projects across South Dakota, from the first internet connection into Pier and into state government to K-12 data center, connecting all the schools, and then broadband project, and then also working on the Connect South Dakota program. That was about a $500 million program to connect citizens across South Dakota, of which I worked a lot with Venture. And while I'm a state employee, basically, I don't endorse any company or anything such. However, working with Venture from Faye through everybody in that company, and I've worked with a lot of them, very appreciative of their work and everything. So I'll just plug that out there. Because I'm also going to be talking about Infotech, who is your current IT vendor. And again, I don't endorse them and I don't condone them. We have to work with all of them, but as a state employee, we can't endorse them. So Where does that put us at with Secure SD? We've already done the Connect South Dakota, now we're doing the Secure South Dakota project. In 2024, the state legislature, they appropriated $7 million to the Attorney General's office. And the statute, the law to do this is really simple. It's basically one sentence. And it says, secure or improve the cybersecurity posture, every single city, every county, and water district, rural water system across South Dakota. That's all it says. So how do we do that? Well, the Attorney General's office turned to DSU. We have a lot of other agreements with the Attorney General's office. We're doing some computer forensics works for them. We also do some technical assessments and some other things for them, so it made sense. They turned to us. We have a board, much like you guys and Venture has as well, only I have 21 people that I'm accountable to. We got into a room and we stood up this program we call Secure South Dakota. Now, having done that, the way that this works is that before we give any money or do any of that funding, it's kind of a unique situation for whatever reason, and I wasn't there on day 0 when this was set, but the Attorney General's office and Secure SD, we can't turn over and just hand money to a city or to a county. We have to go through and work that through an IT vendor. So there's a couple extra processes that we have to go through, some requirements that we have to do. And when I first looked at that, I didn't quite think I liked it, but at the end of the day, I actually do, because it also involves and gives us an economic development feature where now Secure SD, we can pay IT vendors to do the cybersecurity work for the cities, for the entities. That puts money in the pockets of their employees. Their employees can go buy groceries, live in their homes, do all those things, pay taxes. They can be part of that economic engine. The other part of that is it also allows that entity then to establish that relationship with an IT vendor, hopefully a reputable IT vendor who knows cybersecurity. And once you have that relationship going, now you have some oversight. And part of that oversight is nobody likes to think about and worry about cybersecurity. It's not the shiny object, right? Y'all buy a fire truck, what happens? The press comes out, we're taking pictures. I bought a fire truck for Madison, and oh yeah, everybody was there, right? We're taking photo op, everything's great. Shiny new red truck. If I pay $20,000, $50,000 on cybersecurity, who sees it? Nobody. So it's unfortunate a lot of times with technology, our successes are not known. However, our failures certainly would be. It's called what's the estimated time to front page? If a cybersecurity issue does happen, and when they do occur, a breach of some sort, if it's publicly known, now we have a lot of them in South Dakota that are never publicly known for whatever reasons. But a few of the public ones that have been known to the tune of $1.3 million just in the first 2 months has left government entities, and these are the only ones that we know about, have left the state of South Dakota to never be found or recaptured, including Department of Homeland Security, FBI, everybody else who was looking into it. It was too late and the money was gone. Actually took about 40 seconds and the money was gone. So nonetheless, so where are we with the city of Miller? A couple of things that I do want to point out. Again, we don't just hand over money. What we do first is we do assessments. We meet the entities where they're at, try to remember that statute, improve the cybersecurity posture. Well, how do you improve anything? You have to measure it first. You have to figure it out. You have to, okay, where are we at today? Do we have a firewall? When is the firewall end of life? Is it okay? What other services are we doing? And once we do those assessments, we figure out, okay, we need to purchase equipment. We need to buy a file server. We need to buy switches. I guess I didn't even ask, do you have public Wi-Fi access in your commission room? And is that segmented off to where someone like me, or better yet, some people that work for me and with me, so that they can't just walk in and immediately be on your network, some of those kind of things. So we look at that. We can purchase equipment. We can purchase firewalls, some of those type of cybersecurity equipment. But the main thing, and our main, if you will, priority, and it's a priority from the legislatures to the Attorney General's office, which makes it my priority as well, just like the last guy. His wife wants it done, so it's a priority for him, right? I've been there. So our main priority is email. And actually the whole program really started from all of the business email compromise, where you get an email and it's a scam email and you click on it, and before you know it, your entire network is taken over. And so we knew we needed to secure that up and to fix that. Again, meeting the entity where they are, the city of Miller, you're actually in a really good spot because 2 reasons. One, you already have a managed services provider, an MSP, an IT vendor who's already helping you with your network. And it's Infotech, and I'll publicly say their name because it's public record. And also, I will say that simply because we did an RFP, and again, it's public, and the RFP for internet services or internet, not providers, but technology companies, so that they could provide this email system for you. Infotech, Riverside Technologies, and another company called Two Trees. They were the 3 awarded RFP awardees, and Infotech was one of them. So you're already set pretty well. We know them very well because they've been through that RFP process. Some of the other new IT vendors that, if you will, come out of the woodworks and we don't know about them, it takes us a little bit longer because we have to vet them and see, are they even capable of doing a system to the level of security that we require? And we know Infotech is there because they've already passed the RFP test. They've already been awarded that. So you're in good shape as far as the partner that you have. One other thing that I'll say as far as like the posture of where you're at today, you also have already done the strategic assessment. Sydney's already sat down with, we have an individual who also actually worked on Connect South Dakota program as well. And he's working for Homeland Security now, and he's done a strategic assessment. And so we found some things there and been able to help with that. So today I mostly want to see if I can answer any of the questions as far as and I'll say secure data and email solution. I have a couple of things on that. Is when we started this, everybody's, email, and part of it was with my background in the K-12 data center, we led with setting up email for all of the schools across South Dakota. And so that was the project. Well, today, when we do this email solution, all of your data, and along with all of your communications, if you do Teams meetings, you do SharePoint, OneDrive, all of your Word documents, Excel documents, all of that, gets elevated and gets put and stored in government data centers. What I mean by government level data centers, they're only in the United States, in the continental 48. And the only people that work in those data centers are natural US born citizens with deep background checks. And so all of that data and information gets plugged into that government level data centers. The other thing is we also add some additional features and services in that. We have multi-factor authentication. Now, I think you all are already set up on that and doing that already, so kudos again to what you're doing there. We also do the phishing campaign, and what we mean by that is we'll send sample emails to city employees to see if they'll click on a spam, scam email. And if they do, we don't go with a big hammer and beat them up. We say, okay, listen, now we're gonna help and educate you. Don't be clicking on that because that could have done X, Y, Z. And so that's just a great example to improve that cybersecurity culture, keep it active, keep it up front, so that employees know, hey, I know I can't and shouldn't click on this. The other thing that we offer is all elected officials can also be on this email system. Because when Sydney sends information to you all, we want that secured and we want it encrypted. We don't want it to be sent to a Gmail. We don't want it to be sent to a Yahoo mail. We want it to be sent to a .gov email. Also, that phishing campaign, we also include the elected officials. Little insight, who do you think clicks the most on the phishing campaigns?
City of,
Our elected officials. Yeah. And it makes for an interesting dynamic, and we actually had one entity that the elected official told the IT person, told her to turn it off, and they did, and unfortunately, a month later, they lost a lot of money. So, it's just part of the world that we live in, so.
Yeah. I know with, correct me if I'm wrong, Cindy, but I think with Infotech, we just changed our Gmail, or our address, email address, correct?
And it's still .com, so
And it's
it's
still
like,
dot-
why at that time wouldn't we have just done .gov?
Yeah. Unfortunately, you know, obviously I'd have to visit with Infotech and see if they had any other input on that. A couple of things. One is, and here again, just great kudos, because this isn't always the same conversation with a lot of cities, okay? That you're already in a commercial environment. What we want to do is we want to move you into the government environment. And what we're talking about here is, as a government entity, that's what we are. We need to be in that government cloud. Why? Okay, I'm a citizen. As a citizen, I don't have a choice but to give you my information, whether you're city or county. If I move to that county, you have my information. You got the GIS maps, you know the property, you know my taxes, you know everything, okay? I don't have a choice. The business world, commercial world, we do have a choice as a citizen. If we know of a company that does not respect or utilize my information properly, and I know that, it's my choice whether I do business with them or not. And I don't have to. In government, we don't have that choice. We have to be responsible, and I would submit even more responsible with that information and with that data that we possess. That's what we're charged with.
So you would suggest that we go to the .gov email and not do the one we have with Infotech?
Well, so Short answer is yes.
Okay,
Now, the longer answer is, it'll be a email address change, again, sorry. Now, we can ease into that because we can forward your existing email into the government one, and then when you send emails out, if they just click reply, they'll have the new email address. So there's some things that Infotech can do to soften that a little bit. The other thing that I want to make sure is perfectly clear is that when you go to the government cloud, we are now purchasing government licenses. Guess what? They cost more. It's out of our control. It's a Microsoft thing. Sorry, if you don't like that, wait till July, the costs go up even more. For both commercial and government licenses. So I don't hide from that fact that a lot of entities, they go with the, I'll say, cheaper business class and even a lower one instead of going into the government cloud. Some IT vendors, unfortunately, they don't understand government either. They understand commercial, right? They have more commercial customers than they do government. So they don't understand that there's this government cloud. They don't understand that the, government entity needs to be in that government cloud.
Yeah.
So it's a little more, we're trying to continually educate the IT vendors. I have about 45 or so, 40-ish that I have contracts with. And we're constantly educating them on that. The other thing I'll mention about the price is that always look at that delta, meaning you're already paying for the commercial license. Now, the government license will cost more, but how much more? Is that $5,000 a year more? Is it $10,000 a year more? Depends on number of accounts and whether they're frontline employees. They maybe don't have a computer, maybe you have some part-time employees, city swimming pool maybe or something. Maybe they don't need an email account, maybe they do for their timesheets. All of those kind of things play into it that, again, Infotech has been through the ringer and they're well aware of how to sort through that, and they'll work with you on that mostly.
sometimes I wonder, because just as a government entity, it might be because of things beyond my comprehension, but why is it more expensive? I mean, that's my first thing. I mean, you're trying to secure some very important information that should be, now I'm not gonna say top priority over personal situations, but
Yeah.
because of the scope you're working with and the information, the amount of information you have with regard to people in our community, so.
I'm right in that same camp with you, and I wish Microsoft would understand that what we're trying to do, and it's simply secure citizens' data from the everyday race against bad actors.
Yeah. I will say one more thing too, and because I shared this with Mike earlier, he talked about where they would send out kind of emails and see if you'd click on it. Our school did that, and I'm proud to say I did not click on it. So, I mean, I looked at the email address and said it's K12@sd.us. Well, it was K12sd.us. So,
They play off of
Yeah.
those domain names, and to your point of, one of the questions you asked me earlier too is, are we behind?
yeah,
And I think, or at least hopefully you can see that I'm conveying you've already made some really great steps going forward. You've already completed the technical assessment, the strategic assessment. You already have Homeland Security doing some vulnerability scanning. You have an IT vendor that you've already locked in with, and that herein by itself is a big deal. Now, there's obviously some other things that we could do to move you from the commercial email system up to the government email system, SecureSD pays for all of that. On average, it's anywhere from $4,000 to $15,000 to do all of that heavy lifting. Migrate every single account, make sure multi-factor is set up. Now, some of this is already in place. And again, that's for me to work with Infotech, make sure we don't pay double for something, or you know, how can we interweave this and make it the best for the city. And then we can add all of those things. We also pay for the licenses from now until the end of the program, June 30th, 2028. Originally, it was set up as a 4-year program. It took the Attorney General's office, Board of Regents, 10, 12 months to get the agreements and everything set up. And so, yeah, we're at about midpoint now. So we would have about 2.5 years. And as I understand it from Infotech, you're on a month-to-month basis with your licensing, which is perfect, because then once it ends, that next month, we will pay until the end of the program.
Okay.
Now, what happens at the end of the program? Ultimately, you have your 2.5 years to prepare your budget again for that delta. How much, little bit extra is it going to be for the government licenses? Prepare your budgets. You may be responsible for that. Notice the key word I said there is may. We are working with the current governor. We also know the other governor candidates. Obviously, that can all change June 2nd to November, whatever. However, all of the candidates seem to be pretty pro cybersecurity. So we think, and we also have some Connect South Dakota, maybe some other federal internet money that we can also utilize for cybersecurity. If this program continues to be successful, we think it'll continue to be funded. We have 64 out of the 66 counties are involved in this. And I believe, last I looked, it was 59 or 60 of them are already doing the secure data and email solution.
Yeah. And Cindy and I were on the phone this afternoon when we were going through this, and I know Han County, I was talking to Doug, and they're on
Yeah.
it, so.
Yep, worked a lot with Doug.
When you said earlier, you made note of like, there's funds available for like improving and stuff like that. It was very broad, but you can purchase things for us. Because we never did do a firewall or a switch, right? We just did the email. Is that something that we could explore with you and see what's available? Because last time we did it, we kind of, all right, let's just do a starting point. We did the
Sure.
email, cybersecurity, and then we kind of stopped at the firewall level. Is it something where we have a little bit more choice of upgrading our firewall at a reduced cost than it was before? Or is it still basically gonna be the cost that it was before?
Yeah, in that exact example, we will pay for the firewall itself. We will pay Infotech to install it. And typically they're 3 to 5 year warranty on those. That's included in the cost of it, and we'll fund all of that.
Okay, because I know that's something that we had brought up, but we kind of had to
Yeah,
pick and choose. And
Yeah.
we did a starting point, but then that was kind of in the future of the next thing to
Sure.
do for cybersecurity.
sure, totally understand that. I would entertain, or I would suggest any of that kind of equipment, talk to Infotech and tell them, hey, what else can we get through Secure SD funding? Get us set up as best as possible now while the funding is there. And I say that because in the beginning of the program, we used to buy file servers. We bought quite a few of them. Well, we don't buy and pay for or fund file servers anymore because that 7 million is shrinking pretty fast. Now, I'm also not going to scare you into making quick decisions, because I think you need to, make sure you have everything ready. However, there will come a day that towards the end of the program, and I'm just guessing, because I know the numbers, within 6 to 8 months, we will probably say we will fund 1 year, but we don't have enough money to promise you that we will fund to the end of the program anymore. So,
That's fine.
Okay.
I'd say going forward, we just need to revisit our want list and that we had set up before and see what it looks like today with the funding available.
yeah, and we can do the secure data and email for 2.5 years and have that funding locked in. So again, I always caution cities, make sure that you don't, oh, great, and then you forget about it, and then in 2.5 years, if you end up having to pay for that, then I just want to, and we do it on a year, so then a year from now, we can be right back here and say, okay, we're running the work orders through again. And also, when I say we're running the work orders through, everything that we're doing. We don't just give a boatload of money to an IT vendor and they show up at your door and say, hey, SecureSD told me come and install all this stuff. We don't do any of that. It's full transparency. The program is from the Attorney General's office. They're the ones who investigate state employees, right, and how things work. So their program is going to be, one of the gold stars, if you will, as far as transparency. So when we have a work order, and you'll see it on the email, firewall, whatever it is, and on that work order, the IT vendor signs it, SecureSD signs it, and the city signs it.
Okay.
Or the county, or the water, whoever it is we're working with at the time. There's about 140, 150 entities that we're working with, so.
Appreciate you coming
we
and,
do.
Yeah,
letting
it's,
us know about this.
yeah, thank you. I kind of rambled, but it's a lot.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
we cover a lot of things, and to your point, Mayor, being in a race against bad actors, I'm a 30-some-year-old government employee. I couldn't imagine going to work every single day like some of these nation-state actors, China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, where you go to work every single day and your whole job is to compromise and hack, come up with those fancy scam emails and send it to the Mike Wellners of the world, to the Aunt Ednas of the world, and try to scam them out of their money. And we're just trying to stop that, slow it down, improve the cybersecurity culture. When it starts here at the city, it filters throughout the town as well. Starts in the county, filters throughout the county, and that's really what we're after.
Okay,
Thank you.
you bet. How much information, like, for our next meeting?
I
Can we
think
get
Jade
the-
is putting together a quote right now for doing the data.
Okay. You know when we'll have that? Just, not to,
Don't.
no, okay. But he's aware of it.
Tomorrow?
Well, if we
He's
could have
usually
it,
pretty good at it, so.
Yeah.
I will also say that part of that data and email solution, just knowing the services that they have, will also cover a few other things that I know will greatly improve your other cybersecurity stuff as well. And I'll say stuff loosely. It'll give you some 24/7 oversight and security. So there's a few other things that it'll do.
We are
Well-
gonna have a hiccup with our security cameras that we
Yeah.
bought several years ago.
Yep,
They're on the do not buy list,
yeah,
and they're not gonna be allowed into our network if we
Right.
switch. So now we gotta pay for cameras again.
yeah.
Is that something that,
Unfortunately, we had kind of talked about that, and that's more of a physical security item, and so SecureSD can't fund that. If we can get some of the other funding that we're targeting, then I think we can. So, you could also maybe visit with Doug over at the county, because I know that the county had, UJS had a physical security program and had some funding with it. And so I don't know if that extends down to the cities or not, but something worth pursuing. And I think, did we also talk with Jim from Homeland Security? Because they also have a physical security arm as well.
Okay.
Actually, one of the ex-colonel for the highway patrol is heading that up and does a great job.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Well, it was, you know, I think where we are with this is, to me, it's still a head scratcher, because when you were talking about David, when I'd figure out one program, he said, well, we're gonna update it to the next program, when I've just figured it all works out and stuff, but reading through that last page that you submitted, there's some interesting topics and different steps that, I appreciate that information though, too. So,
Well, and Mayor, ultimately, not only creating that culture, but if we can have good IT companies that are doing that cybersecurity oversight, and someone like SecureSD is holding them accountable, then you all, your city employees, can do their jobs. They don't have to worry about the cybersecurity part, right? Let's let those experts do that. You can focus on the services that you're providing.
well, I just cringe, because on the news tonight, woman was dubbed out of $400,000.
Yeah.
And it's just sad, person that worked all their lives, have somebody, I don't get that. So,
Yeah.
anyway, we appreciate, any additional questions for Mike? Okay, then we'll do what we need to do on our end to get the information needed to proceed with this as quickly as we can to make sure we benefit from those funds that are available.
And I'll make sure Infotech's quote is dead on, and they, like I said, they've been through it with a lot of entities, so,
Right,
should be good.
very good, very good. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fay and Mary, thank you too. All right,
Thank
you
you.
betcha. Justin,
Excellent.
You can have that.
Justin's here Cell is here on the behalf of the American Legion.
We're gonna put a sign up along the road there. We just want to know that far west light pole out there along the highway. If we could tap into that and get some electricity so we can light our sign up.
I would wait until that project comes through like next year.
Well,
Redo it again too.
they're buying 20, we agreed to sell them 25 feet more right away, so we're gonna make sure the sign is inside there.
Okay, I just don't know what their lighting layout is yet. They're gonna change the lights. Are we talking about a steel pole?
No, it's
No,
a wooden pole.
Wood one,
Oh, okay. So yeah, I didn't know how far south they're gonna go or anything, but yeah, I'm sure we. In the lot there?
Yep,
Okay. I think that's on your guys' meter anyways. I thought you were talking about the other one.
I guess I don't know.
no, that wooden one, it's,
Okay.
And then, the Miller Thriller, they wanna try to have their band out into the parking lot of the ball field. I was wanting to know if we could get possibly a temporary so they could,
Well, I would want to go through the Baseball Association, too, and talk to them, bring them on board. I guess I personally don't have any problem with that, but I'd like to, all the entities involved to be,
sure.
with regard to that.
The city doesn't really have a temporary, do we,
No.
for secondary?
No, we don't, but, like, you're wanting it to tie in where?
Well, they wanna have the band out there, so they're gonna need some power.
So you're closer to the ball field
probably, wherever we can tie in out
So
there.
that would be probably the closest, otherwise, that other one's clear in the ditch
Okay,
over there along the highway, so.
Maybe more of a local electrician as far as a temporary panel, because the city doesn't have any secondary temporary panels really built.
okay.
I know some of the local electricians do have some of that stuff for that mobile stuff.
But
And
would there
then,
be a place where we could tie into it, or,
That would be probably at the, right there at the concessions.
okay?
That would be the closest I can think of. I mean,
So we're gonna start meeting with the Miller Thriller people here, probably sometime in June, and that's gonna get brought up.
whoever your electrician is, just have them keep me in the loop and, I mean, and some of them temps, they can put a meter on it too, so that's not a big deal either.
That's probably what we'd do, is put a meter on it.
Yeah, BJ would be who we'd work with.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with you guys, don't have a problem with it. I mean, about the only thing there is just coordinating with the electrician, because I'm assuming you're just gonna run it on top of the ground for ways.
Yep,
The safety of the public, and just try to keep it in and out of there as short as possible with whatever ball games and stuff that are going on, and,
well, in September, everything should be
okay,
pretty much done out there.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the sign before we proceed anymore. So you have we're gonna be okay with regard to supplying some power?
I have no problem with them tapping into that, I mean, it's not much, and
It's gonna be LED lights.
yeah, and your electrician or whoever, that probably should, I mean, there'll need to be a disconnect on the sign and everything for code.
Sure.
And when you do that, the way we typically do them lights, you're not, if you trip something in there, you're not gonna wanna have you're not gonna have to get it a fuse and stuff, so, we'll have to look at it, but I have no problem with that, yes.
Do we need a motion on that? Probably.
It's actually on there.
Yeah.
If it's already on there.
Oh, okay, then we're okay. I didn't know if it was on
They need our
there.
permission for anything.
They can,
They literally, well, they pay for the light pole and the light, that's what they do, they pay for that each month.
okay.
Okay.
So we're okay with that one, all right? Now, then pick up, get your electrician out there with the service panel and then running it. And then if it's gonna deal with the baseball field, I'd
Okay,
make sure we are okay with that,
okay, I'll get with BJ then
Yeah.
and follow through.
yeah. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, thank you very much, Justin. Okay? Dan's here with regard to the lawnmower.
Ron isn't able to be here tonight, so he sent me in his place. He's sought bids on a new lawnmower for park. He got 4 back, and it appears that there's only one that is available sometime this summer, and that would be that Gravely 252. Has a 5-year warranty. I think it's, the way I understood it, it's comparable to the one that we have right now, so.
Okay? And that's actually the cheapest of the,
Yes, it's the
4
least
bids.
expensive of the 4.
yeah,
And it has a 5-year warranty,
yes,
so.
which is 2 years longer than the others,
Yeah.
two of the others, yeah. Okay?
And that's the one he was thinking he'd like to go with? then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
It kinda looks like it's the only one that we're gonna be able to get this summer.
sure.
right,
I make a
Enter-
motion to purchase the Gravely 252 27 horsepower, zero turn, 52-inch deck for $10,325.
Second.
discussion?
Where's it coming from?
Tight machinery.
Okay,
Who seconded that?
Yeah.
Gail. Okay, motion has been made a second to purchase a Gravely 252 27 horsepower, zero turn, 52-inch deck mower for $10,325. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
I abstained, I don't think I need to with it being Titan, but
Okay.
since John Deere was listed, I just stayed
Alright.
out of it.
Do you want to talk about the citywide cleanup? Anything on that? I see that's on the Thursday and Friday of June 11th and 12th.
Other than we just like everybody to call in well ahead of time so that we know. Obviously, we always get people that see us out and go, oh, well, then they call in, but, so we schedule 2 days to do it, just so we have an afternoon to go back and pick up the ones that forgot to call.
Yeah.
But, it's basically the same rules as what the Revel site has, no electronics, no cardboard, no paper. Other than that.
Yeah, no paint. Yeah. Okay. And again, the citywide cleanup is Thursday and Friday of June 11th and 12th. So those individuals who are, don't have the means of getting items out to the dump grounds, please, call and make an appointment, or if somebody needs help with them to get them out there, that's fine too. So anyway, thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Miller School District street request, and basically, with the construction of the new building, they requesting to close East 8th Avenue, which is also known as Rustler Drive, for the summer during construction, and then utilize East 7th Avenue as a two-way street while the Rustler Drive is closed. And right now, that 7th Avenue, that's the one that is one-way, so we would take the one-way sign down if this motion carries, and they're proceeding with the construction rapidly and stuff, so.
Make a motion to grant Miller School District street closure requests.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, motion is made and second to approve the request made by the school district to close East 8th Avenue and then utilize East 7th Avenue as two-way street. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Okay, on page 8, you have the Miller CNC and AMF Miller Fire Department fireworks permit.
I'll make a motion to grant the CNC and the fire department, permit for public fireworks.
Second.
Discussion. The only concern I had is what happens if they can't do it on the 5th? Because it states it'll be either on the 4th or then on the 5th.
If they can't do it on the set day or the backup day, they don't shoot them.
They don't have them, okay, very good. I just wanted that out there. All right. Motion has been made and seconded to approve the CNC and the Miller Fire Department fireworks request. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 9 is special event liquor license for Willie's Bar and Grill for a wedding on June 30th of 2026 at the Miller Community Center.
May 30th, isn't it?
May 30th, that was
Saturday.
no,
When?
yeah, May 30th.
May
Yeah, it's this
30th,
month,
yeah.
yes. May 30th, 5/30/26.
Make a motion to grant special event liquor license to Willie's Bar and Grill.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, motion is made and seconded to approve the special event liquor license for Willie's Bar and Grill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. I'd
Move to
enter,
pay the bills.
okay.
Second.
Discussion? I just wanted to note that 2 additional bills were added to the request after the agenda was sent out. So, motion has been made and seconded to approve the bills. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Move to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn.
The second.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, motion made and second to adjourn. We are adjourned.
8:17 PM.
Y'all have a good evening.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, and thank you for the